I'm sorry, I just can't get enough of that. I love that, whatever that is. Who is that anyway? It's kind of vintage. It's kind of cool. Hey, I'm Wayne Coy. Nice to be with you. It is another episode of AthleticsCast, all things A's ball. That's what we talk about here. And of course, this is spring training time of year. And so today, that's going to kind of get most of our attention as we roll with another episode of AthleticsCast. Now, you might be aware that I'm an Oakland/East Bay native. Spent my time in Oakland and San Leandro for the most part. Also lived in Fremont for a while, and Hayward, Dublin, San Ramon. Anyway, lifelong A's fan. From 2007 until 2020, I was the host of a local radio morning show, and I was there in the Bay Area every day. Got married at home, played at the Coliseum. That's how much of an A's fan I am. And then COVID budget cuts. They came, not only did they mess with baseball, but they messed with radio too. A bunch of us found ourselves out of work after a lot of years, and I was not alone. And it's business, I get that. But because of business, we decided to relocate. So we moved from the Bay Area to Las Vegas right at the end of 2020. And a lot of people said, oh, you're just following the Raiders. Well, kind of did, but that wasn't on purpose. It wasn't the master plan. And now it looks like there's a possibility, maybe, that the A's might be following the Oakland football team to Las Vegas with a little relocation. Of course, we don't know that. We do know, though, this is the last year at the Oakland Coliseum, unless, of course, the lease is extended. There's still a possibility, I guess, of that happening. But otherwise, it's really anybody's guess as to where they're going to play in 2025, 26, and 27. So get through this year. Well off the strip in the planned community of Summerlin, Nevada, which is part of Las Vegas, really. It's part of the metro. You got kind of Vegas proper. Then you have Henderson/Green Valley over there. And then going this way, you've got, I'm kind of doing this from my chair. You got Summerlin to my left, you're right, and Green Valley, Henderson is over there. Now, there's a baseball park there. It's a beautiful one, actually. It's called Las Vegas Ballpark. It is where the AAA Las Vegas Aviators play. They are, of course, the AAA affiliate of the Oakland Athletics. So there's a little thing that they call Big League Weekend, and that's where you're going to find the Oakland A's this weekend. It's Big League Weekend in Vegas. The parent club coming to town to take on the Milwaukee Brewers. Still some good tickets available, so if you're in town, you want to go watch the A's play, go ahead and do that as spring training temporarily moves from the Arizona desert to the Nevada desert. And you got a couple of games. Of course, they're exhibition games. Big League Weekend, then they go back to Mesa, where they'll hang out for a couple more weeks. And then, of course, it's back home to the Bay Area. And a couple of games against the Giants, as is tradition, one home, one away. And they call that the Battle of the Bay. After that, it's a home opener and a opening 4-game series against the Cleveland Guardians with their new manager, Stephen Vogt. How cool is that? Well, we had a chance to talk to a guy who really wants to be with the A's in Oakland at the end of spring training. He's catcher Kyle McCann, and Kyle has been with the A's since 2019. He was drafted then, and of course, like any young ball player, is looking for an opportunity to make it to the major leagues and play in the big time. And of course, we want to see if he can do that too. Just in your honor, Kyle, normally I might have a Diet Pepsi, but Georgia boy, got to go Coca-Cola.
Hey,
right?
There you go. Nothing better right there.
I know what's funny is I live down in Mobile, Alabama, and never experienced this before, but you go there in the South and you're like, they'll ask you what flavor Coke you want. And you're like, yeah. And you're like, well, is there any other kind other than Coke? And they're like, yeah, you want a 7-Up? You want Dr. Pepper? What kind of Coke you want? So that must be a Southern thing. Yeah. So, hey, where in Georgia? I know you went to Georgia Tech. Where did you grow up, though?
I grew up in Suwanee, Georgia. So that's about 45 minutes northeast of Atlanta, right next to Alpharetta, Johns Creek, Cumming, that area.
Gotcha. So there's no way in heck that you're anything but a Braves fan growing up, right?
Oh, yeah. Grew up a huge Braves fan. My favorite player, obviously, was Brian McCann because same last name. Get every game this past all my seasons, there's always someone, whether it's a fan, player, umpire, they always ask, am I related? And I'm not. So sometimes I'll mess with them and say, yeah, he's my cousin, he's my uncle, something like that. But
yeah. Well, you're related.
I get it all the time.
You're related in your heart, though. I mean, you've been a fan of his for a long, long time, so you might as well be. Let me ask you about that, though, because you got to see some good baseball based on your age. The Braves were pretty good when you were coming up, right?
They were. They had Chipper. They had all those guys. So it was super fun to watch them play. And I went to a lot of ball games, so it was always a cool atmosphere.
Now, does Langoliers ever rub it in that he came from the Braves, and so
no, he never really does. He doesn't really say much. But no.
Yeah. So you guys, I mean, I find it interesting that between you and Tyler and Shea, you have three guys who I feel like could start easily. So how do you divvy that playing time up? I mean, I know you're in spring training now and you're working towards hopefully making a roster and getting out of spring training with a big league gig, but you've got two pretty good catchers right there. Do you consider yourself sort of on the same plane? Is somebody ahead of somebody? How's that work?
No, Shea and Tyler, they're both great players. So I'm trying to go out every day and prove that I'm just as good to be on that big league roster. So I want to catch great. I want to be able to work with the pitching staff good, and I obviously want to hit well. So yeah, I'm trying to be day in and day out, prove to them that I'm a big leaguer.
I know they say chicks dig the long ball, and I guess that's true, but I've never really seen anybody, Kyle, enjoy hitting home runs more than you. And
it's the best feeling ever.
Yeah, very fortunate here living in Las Vegas because I got a chance to see you go yard twice in one game last year, which was pretty cool. And I think you did that twice, didn't you?
I may have. It's hard to remember, but
it's all a blur. Yeah,
it is. They blend together.
No, but there was a very emphatic, I will just call it spiking of the bat after you hit the ball. And then you seem to really enjoy your trip around the bases. In fact, I do believe you gestured out to right field, and I don't know why, because you hit it to like dead center. But
that's to give the bullpen all the bullpen pitchers some love.
Sure,
yeah. They love when the hitter points out to them. So last year in Vegas, if a teammate didn't point to them, one of the bullpen pitchers would run into the dugout and say, "Point next time." That's right. It's all fun and games, but that became the thing that year. So every homer, I'd show some love out there to them.
Sure. Is there a set? I know there's unwritten rules in baseball, but I mean, is there sort of a set way you're supposed to round the bases when you hit a home run? Are you supposed to go like at a moderate speed? If you go too fast or too slow, are you showing somebody up? Or
it's whatever you're feeling. I always do, I guess, a medium speed. Some guys will go really slow. Some guys will go fast, but I think if you go too slow, that's almost dramatic and showing everyone, oh, I just hit a homer, whatever. But I try and be somewhat respectful to the pitcher. I might do a little pimp job every now and then, but I'll have a good pace around the bases.
Yeah, you're not quite Ricky Henderson. I mean, you're not like popping your collar or anything like that.
No, so, I don't want to be too flashy.
Speaking of, I know he's in camp, and the A's have got a tradition of sort of bringing their veteran players to camp. They didn't always have that, but in the last, probably 15 years or so, they've really embraced their past. And what a legacy. I mean, you're playing for one of the most successful franchises in baseball history. Are you aware of that? I mean, it's kind of all around you. I guess you can't really miss it, right?
Yeah, of course I'm aware of it. And it's awesome to see guys like Ricky around the clubhouse. I mean, he's always talking to everyone, getting to know each other. He's always laughing. I've never seen the guy not laughing. So to have that around the clubhouse, his energy, it's always cool to be like, wow, that's Ricky Henderson in our clubhouse. So
sure.
It's very cool.
Does it bug you when, the A's were known for, Charlie Finley made sure of this, that his entire team wore white spikes back when that was not cool to do. And so they were known for their white cleats, right? And now everybody's rocking white cleats. Does that bug
I know
you?
everyone's taking the A swag with the white cleats.
Right. So
I
is that
love
okay?
it. I
That's
love
not
the all
okay,
grays
is it?
and the white cleats.
Right. It's not
Yeah.
okay, is it, Kyle? I mean, doesn't it really kind of bug you deep down?
I guess a little bit it does.
A little, see? That's what I'm talking
I think
about.
it's also cool that they're trending off of us, so maybe you can look at it that way.
There you go. Well, there's a lot of stuff obviously going on off the field. And I got to be honest with you, as the host of this podcast and the one that I was on before, it's a drag, really, because what I'd rather do is be talking to you. I'd rather be talking about what's going on the field. But unfortunately, I'm a Bay Area native. I'm feeling this to my core, as are many who grew up there. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we think you're coming to Las Vegas, but of course we don't know that for sure. And then you've got those years in between where even if you do head to Vegas in 2028, you don't know what's going on in 25, 26, 27. I've got to imagine for you that's a little unsettling, but I think more importantly, how does Drew feel about that? I mean, the idea that, you know, she's going to possibly be moving from town to town and not have the stability that you would have with playing for one team.
Yeah, it's obviously it's a lot that they throw at us, but to be honest with you, I'm here to just play the game of baseball, go out every day and just do my thing. And I try not to get into all that because I don't think any of us really know what's going to happen. So we don't put too much into it. If we're playing in Oakland, that's awesome. If we're playing in Vegas, wherever we play, we're gonna try and win ball games.
Yeah. Now, when you played in Vegas last year, it was typical that you'd be playing a lot of games that are like 12-10 or 13-11, and the ball just seemed to fly, man. So you saw the renderings, I would imagine, yesterday, and
I did.
So yeah, it's kind of different, right? So let's say all that comes to pass. Is the ball going to fly in a park like that, or do they do something to kind of control that a little
closed,
bit?
right? Like it's glass all on the outfield, so I would think it plays true. There's not really, because in Vegas there's always some wind, and at the Vegas ballpark the wind's always blowing out.
Oh, I know it.
And plus you're in high elevation, but I'd be curious to see if it flies like it does, being that it's indoor. So
sure. Well, you got big league weekend coming up. Are you excited about the prospects of coming back to Las Vegas, but possibly not having to stay? I mean, does that enter your mind at all?
Yeah, I mean, it enters my mind a little bit, but I'm excited for the Vegas weekend. I think it's going to be cool. I didn't get to go last year, so
yeah.
We're going to be on the private jet going out there, staying at a nice hotel in Vegas. So I'm excited to be a part of that experience.
How much of the desire to be a major leaguer has to do with the fact that you do elevate from the bus to the jet, or from the plane to the private plane, or from
what I hear, it's next level. So it always gives that extra push to go out there and give it everything you got, because flying in a private jet, that's got to be nice.
Sure. So your pop played ball, and did he ever play Major League Baseball, or was he just
he never made it. Never made it to the majors. No. So
is he living a bit vicariously through you?
I'm sure he is. He obviously wants to see me get up there.
Yeah. So if you had, I guess, to pick one of your teammates to be stranded on a desert island with, and it's the only one you could be with for, let's say, 6 months to a year before you got rescued, who would that be?
I can only pick one teammate?
Yeah, only one.
I got to go with my boy, Max Schumann.
Really?
Max Schumann, yep.
Okay.
We were roommates all last year in AAA, so
sure,
we're good friends.
Okay, so there's a bond there. I, for whatever reason, figured you might be grabbing one of these young pitchers that were also in Vegas last year, because it looks like that's a battle royal. I mean, somebody really does have a chance to maybe pitch at the major league level that didn't think maybe at this point that they would be, but you need arms, right?
Yeah, pitching wins ball games, so we can get all the arms we can.
What do you think of Joe Boyle, real quick?
Disgusting. So good.
Yeah.
So good. I mean, he's one of the.
You mean his pitching, not his bathroom habits, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's unbelievable. I mean, he's got command, and obviously he throws 100, but he's got 100 with curveball, sweeper. I mean, he throws everything. So
yeah, I heard 103 the other day.
When you're in there,
is that true? He hit 103 the other day.
I think that was Mason Miller.
Oh, it was. Okay, good.
I think it was Miller, but they're 100 and 103. That's.
Did you when you were making that transition from college baseball to professional baseball, was the fact that you're going to be facing guys that throw that hard like a lot? Does that enter your mind? And if so, how do you get ready for that? Because you're not brought up facing guys that can throw 105.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what do you do?
In college, the hardest pitcher I've faced probably threw 95 and 97, and that was like a blue moon. Normally it's 89, 92.
Yeah.
So going into pro baseball, these guys, everyone's coming out throwing 97 plus. So what I do is I love to get on a velo machine and just put it right at my chest. And if I can stay on top and hit that up the middle, then I know that I'm able to hit it, and that gives me confidence going into the game.
Is it true that the harder it comes, the harder it goes? I mean, they're providing some of that, right?
Yeah. All you got to do is touch it. That thing will take off.
Love it. Well, for anybody that gets a chance to watch Kyle play, a lefty bat and just great behind the plate. I mean, you had a good percentage of throwing runners out, so you got an arm. I'm not a scout, but brother, I watched you play last year, and I think good things are about to happen to you. So I'm very excited about that for you.
Yeah, I'm excited as well to see where this spring goes, and hopefully I'm there opening day. If not, then go to Vegas and try and win games there, and hopefully my name's called. Sure.
Well, I think Mark Kotze's had some very nice things to say about you and your talent. So I know that you've got at least somebody in your corner there, and that's the right guy to have in your corner.
Yeah, hey, that's a good one right there.
That's a good one. Well, Kyle, thanks for the time, man. I know these are tough days, long days, and I just want you to know I really appreciate it. We kind of started all over at ground zero again here from the old podcast to this one. So you're helping us build the house, man. We appreciate that.
Hey, anytime.
All right. Well, all the best to you. 2024. Let's do it. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. There's
Thanks
Kyle
for having me.
McCann. Catcher for the Oakland A's, and we'll, of course, be watching what Kyle does here in the coming season. And like I said, I got a feeling there's some great things to come. This is AthleticsCast. That is one good dude right there. I really enjoyed the hang. Thanks again to Kyle for being here. He'll be a part of Big League Weekend, being able, like he said, to make the trip this year. Last year wasn't able to come. So this year he's going to enjoy every minute of that, and he should. He should roll around in it. When you get this close to making the show, I mean, you can only imagine what it's like. Love to be in his shoes for this weekend and just taking all of that in. Playing the Brewers, okay? Maybe, too, a little bit of a preview for the fans in Nevada who could potentially be looking at the team that's going to ultimately be their home team. But, of course, in the meantime, they are still and will continue to be the Oakland Athletics as they get ready for season number 56 at the Coliseum. And it will be one thing, no matter how you feel about what's going on off the field, you gotta still root for the players, right? And the front office staff and the management on the field, the baseball side of things, we certainly are always going to be backing them and hoping that things go well for them, that they can turn things around and have a winning season. This is the time of year when everybody's optimistic, so why not, right? One thing's for sure, we're going to be here for every single bit of that. I want to thank you for hanging out with me here today. I appreciate it very much. And if you can, take a second, hit that thumbs up button down below. That means a bunch. That helps us spread the channel. And if you want to subscribe, that'd be awesome too. That way you never miss an episode of AthleticsCast. Until we get together the next time, I'm Wayne Coy. You keep on swinging.